Hi friends. Today I want to talk about consistency. A lot of us here in the Sacred Embodiment Room strive towards being more consistent. I hear that a lot in our calls. I want to be more consistent. And I feel like there is a lot of misunderstanding around the word consistency. I almost said consistently. I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding around the word consistency. Consistency is not about trying harder. It's not about doing more. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being more committed. It's about learning how to trust yourself more, learning how to create space for trust in your word and in your body. So, what we're going to get into today is the understanding that consistency has little to do with creating a schedule, and it actually has more to do with creating an identity of somebody who is consistent. Because we know that the mind makes decisions based on your identity, your beliefs, and your values. So a lot of us, we've all failed. Let's just get that out of the way. We have all failed, and failing is a great part of success. And in regards to consistency, we've all experienced, like, I'm going to wake up early, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to make sure that I, record my script and listen to it every day. I'm going to drink more water, like whatever it is. Like we've all set the goals, and we've all failed at continuing to stick to the goals. And that has everything to do with the identity that you're associated with, and little to do with, having motivation or having a clear plan. And, motivation and a clear plan, very important. But when you change your identity, everything changes, because then you're moving as that new self. Anytime that you are, making a promise to yourself that you're going to do something and then you don't do it, it's not just as small as, like, missing the task. It's really you telling your brain and your soul that you can't trust yourself, that you don't really follow through on your word. You don't do what you say that you're going to do, and eventually your brain, it stops believing you. And so then when you continue to set these goals, you wonder, like, oh, why is this so hard? Well, your brain has learned to not trust you. And as unfortunate as that is, the positive side to that is that self-trust can be rebuilt. And that's what we're here to do today. So a lot of the time, people believe that, you take action and you take action and you take action, and that's what creates consistency. But that's actually super backwards. The thing that creates consistency is first knowing your desired outcome, knowing what you're working towards. Then once you know what you're working towards, you can build your identity around that outcome. Your identity creates your beliefs influence your emotions impact your nervous system, and your nervous system, the state of that, has a direct impact on your actions and then your results. So if you first click in, check in, identify what your desired outcome is, you can reverse engineer what wants to be done, what can be done, and what needs to be done to create consistency to get that outcome. So if your nervous system is associating success with burnout, or visibility with rejection, discipline with punishment, your body is going to naturally want to resist doing those things or working towards those things because it's trying to protect you. So, creating an identity of safety around your goals is what's going to make space for consistency. Another thing that I want to touch on is waiting until you feel ready. And I really used to be the kind of person that, I just have to wait. Everything has to be perfect. I was a serial planner. I could just write things for days and just make the perfect plan, but I would never take action. And that changed for me once I started working with a coach and she called me out. I was like, oh, girl, I guess I needed to hear it. So consistency doesn't start with perfection. It doesn't start with confidence. It doesn't start with motivation. It doesn't start with feeling ready. When you choose to... Frankie. She is throwing a fit. You guys see her? She's digging. Anyways, a lot of us have procrastination and perfectionism as a lovely pair. It can get really exhausting to continue and to wait to feel ready, or to continue to feel like, it has to be perfect before I start, the setup has to be perfect, or I have to have my script lined out perfect for my video, or whatever it might be. The truth in this is that the longer you wait, the longer you are communicating to your nervous system that it's never going to happen. The more that you're communicating to your nervous system that, this is scary, you're validating that fear and giving it a place to live. You find your readiness in your action. You find your confidence in your action. A lot of the times we wait to feel ready, we wait to feel confident, we wait to feel energized, we wait to feel motivated. And that waiting is creating a message to send to your nervous system that now is not the perfect time. The only time we have is right now. So this consistency, this self-trust, this confidence, this motivation, that happens when you decide to take action. And taking action can be as small as, deciding that today I'm going to click record and I'm going to record something for 5 seconds and then post it, regardless what the video looks like. Because when you do that, you show yourself that it's really not that scary and it's really not that deep. Mind you, your feelings are absolutely valid, but our feelings don't get us to success. Our actions get us to success. I love you. So with all of that being said, it's time for an identity shift. Instead of asking yourself, how do I become more consistent? What is it that I need to do to be more consistent? Ask yourself, who do I need to become for these actions to feel natural? A lot of us in here are content creators or aspiring content creators, and the example that I can use is somebody who identifies as a content creator doesn't wait to record the video. They just record the video. Somebody who identifies as a musician doesn't wait to practice their music. They just practice their music. Somebody who identifies as, this one's totally unrelated, as a baker, they don't wait to bake the cake. They don't just sit there and scroll and think, I'll bake a cake one day. They get up and they bake the cake. Who do you need to become in order for the actions that you want to take to feel natural? That was very wordy. Who do you need to become and for this process to feel more natural? So get clear on that identity, and as you ponder and get clear on who it is that you get to become in order to reach your goal, start identifying as that person. So if it is that you are aspiring to be a content creator, or aspiring to be a tarot reader, or inspiring to be inspiring or aspiring to be you know, the woman who keeps her word to herself, move forward in that identity. Wake up and say, I am a content creator. I can't wait to make my videos today. I'm going to entertain the world or help the world, you know. I am a tarot reader. I can't wait to make my videos today. I can't wait to read these cards. I can't wait to learn more about the arcanas, you know. I am the kind of woman who keeps her promises to herself. And I said that I was going to wake up early, and I woke up early. Look for the evidence of you becoming that version of yourself. Program your reticular activating system. The more that you work on programming your reticular activating system, looking for evidence that proves your new identity true, the easier it will be to align with that identity, because you're training your brain. You are building new neural pathways to this new identity and allowing the old neural pathways to, you know, let the grass grow high and tall. We don't need to go over there. It's not serving us. Your identity is always looking for reasons and evidence to prove itself to be true. So I invite you to keep one promise to yourself today, another promise to yourself the next day, another promise to yourself the next day, and just take this in small chunks, because it's the small steps, the small chunks that build a big momentum, that build big dreams. You know, a big dream isn't just created in one day. You take the time to create your masterpiece. And I just want you to remember that you don't need to be perfect. This process doesn't need to be beautiful and pristine. You don't need to prove your worth. You know, this is not about proving, it's about becoming somebody that you trust. It's about learning how to build a healthy relationship with yourself. It's about, you know, creating space for accountability. Consistency is not about proving yourself, it's about honoring yourself. So this week, moving forward, whenever it is that you're watching this video, I invite you to take small steps into becoming, to take small steps in the direction of the woman that you are choosing to become, the woman who believes and trusts her word. I almost forgot to add, if this video resonated with you, if it lit something up within you, if it made you have an aha moment, and you are now at a point where you are ready to stop forcing discipline and stop forcing perfection, and you're ready to become the woman that you trust, the woman that keeps her word to herself, I would love to have you inside the Sacred Embodiment Room. This is my community of women who are all doing the motherfucking work. You know, we're doing this work together. We're learning concepts, and we are integrating and practicing and celebrating each other. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, you can find the links down below, and, you know, send me an email, leave a comment if you have a question. I love you, and you got this. See you soon. Bye.